This is Majinoni, and here's my review for The Last Days of American Crime. Um, Now, this is put out by Radical Comics, and I bought this trade months ago, but it's just been sitting on my shelf, just unread. And the guy at the comic store, he recommended me buying this book, and once I saw who it was by, Rick Remender, this was like the time when X-Force, he was just starting out in X-Force, and I was like, oh, this comic is awesome, so I gotta buy this one, because hopefully it'll be just as good. And I'm really, really glad I bought it. The Last Days of Crime is basically a story where it's like in a not-too-distant future where you have, the government's going to be releasing the signal, and once the signal starts, then people will lose the desire to commit a crime. They're going to be basically everybody will be law-abiding citizens, and while that's going on, they're also going to be reverting from paper money to virtual money, because with virtual money, that's all easily trackable, and then there's nobody can do any shady dealings with it. So right now, like right before, you have a bunch of civil rights groups who are fighting the signal, and then you have a bunch of other people who are just going crazy, with drugs, sex, violence, things like that. Now the story centers around a guy named Graham. He's basically like your career criminal guy, and he basically hooks up with a couple of people. I have to be kind of careful because there's a lot of nudity and stuff. Let's see. He hooks up with two people by the name of Kevin and Shelby. Here's Kevin here, and here's Shelby. Now, Kevin and Shelby have a plan. What they're going to want to do is, right before they want to steal the paper money, right before the switchover takes place. Because once they do that, then all that money is going to, it won't be traceable. And once they do that, then they're going to flee the country and then basically start anew. And this way they will be outside that zone of the signal. Now, Shelby, she's the type of girl that basically you don't really want to trust, because she's playing every single possible angle so that way she comes out ahead. Graham, he's like your good muscle type guy, but they basically need Graham to go in there and help, basically go in to assist with the money. Now, the art is just phenomenal. It's just really, really good. There's a lot of, don't get me wrong when I say this, it's really ugly, but it fits with it being ugly. And by ugly, I mostly mean in the characters, the way a lot of their faces are. But when you look at like scenes like this panel is awesome. There's other panels which have extreme violence on it, which are also just simply amazing. And they really did like I said, a really, really good job. As I was reading this, I could not imagine this book illustrated any other way. So that's what I mean. When I say it's ugly, this is a compliment ugly, because the way the people look, it just fits the tone, what they're trying to do. It's like the ugliness of the situation. So it's perfect. Like I said, the art is awesome. Even when there's the action sequences, a lot of the action sequences just flow really well together, and it's just, as you can see, it's just really, really well done. Legs there's knives to the faces and heads. It's just really violent. Now, I would, if for an example, you run into a situation where you have some extra money to spend at your comic store, I would highly recommend picking this book up. This is definitely going to be an adult book, so you might want to be conscious of that. Because I said there's a lot of violence, there's some sex, there's some nudity, adult situations, but overall this is just an amazing book. And I think the back cover gives you kind of clue that, yeah, this isn't your typical Batman type story. I would show you more, but I'm really afraid that I'm accidentally going to land on a page with nudity. See, oh, here's a good example here. Like, I love this panel here where the car's crashing into the pole. It's just, I mean, it's just so well illustrated. It's just, I mean, this is the type of story that can only be done in an independent book because it's just too gritty and violent. Now, I heard that this is going to be made into a movie, and I really, really hope they do a good job at sticking to the source. Now, luckily, this is only a 3-issue miniseries, so for the most part, you can pretty much fit in all the key parts to the movie. I mean, all the key parts of the comic into the movie, and everything should be fine. As long as they stick as close as possible to this as its source material, then the movie will be just fine. I would, like I said, highly recommend buying this. This is probably one of my favorite trades of the year that I bought so far. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down, let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews up later, so until next time.